Friends, I think we're back. Are we back at our places, Mandee? I feel like we've been wayward travelers and we have now
Indeed.
returned home.
Indeed.
You can see
But
my
that
lips
reminds me
feeling
of
again.
we did vacation Bible school when I was in the fourth grade. And it was about kill the fatted calf, kill the old red rooster. I'm as happy, I'm as joyful as ever I could be. Kill the fatted calf, kill the old red rooster, for my son has returned to me. Anyway, wayward,
Okay.
prodigal
Kicking up
children.
our feet, cannon on that
If
one.
y'all don't remember all your vacation Bible school songs, I just feel sorry for you.
Yep.
The dog is
I
disturbed.
choose not to sing because I want people to actually listen.
I
I'll
have
let
this.
you do
It's
it.
it's a palsy I have. It is constantly happening in my
I
brain,
do.
and sometimes it
Well,
just comes out.
I do too. I have what I like to call musical Tourette's. Like even if
1000%.
if I'm in public, I never ever do this out loud because I'm a terrible singer.
I do it out loud all the
I,
time.
but you have a great voice. I
Mm,
do not.
debatable.
And in my head, if somebody says something, just even in passing or as part of a conversation, song lyrics will pop in my head. And sometimes I
Oh,
reply with those song lyrics, like speak them,
and
and
your
people look at
cues
me like I
and
have
your
a
cues from a musical or play that you've been in. If somebody gives you your cue, anytime somebody says it's cold, my dad replies with, "I must consult with the janitor." Every time, because that was in some operetta he did in
love it.
college. Yeah, listen. And Christmas time,
Ooh.
boy, it is rife with the
Mm.
random song outburst.
I know. And it's my time of year to be with my boyfriend, Harry Connick Jr. He doesn't know he's my boyfriend.
Listen, I have several of those. I didn't know you had one.
Oh, I have one. He's it, man.
Speaking of,
He's married to
um,
a Victoria's Secret model, though, so I don't stand
well,
a chance.
but he's from New Orleans, so we like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of our boyfriends,
Oh Lord.
I hope everybody watched last week's
Oh,
True South
I
episode.
cried and cried.
It was about Dublin, Georgia,
We're
but most specific,
going.
it was about a little hamburger place on the square in Dublin. And everybody that works there are recovering addicts, and so it sort of dug
Women.
deep, dug deep on a couple
Mhm.
of these women, and they featured my boyfriend Jason Isbell's
They
music
did. They
and
did. At
theme
first, they
song.
didn't. And I was like, I don't know where you heard that. It's E.G. Kite, which, by the
They
way,
did
if
have
you don't
several.
know,
Yeah,
yeah, she's great. And a friend of mine is her drummer. And I love that.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they had a couple of her songs, but
Mhm.
then the rest of them were Jason. And then, in addition to that, my other boyfriend, Wright Thompson,
Mm.
wrote an article for GQ about his daughters. His older daughter just happened to be with him when he was doing a story on the Grateful Dead and got to go to the Grateful Dead cover band concert.
Mhm.
And so her little sister decided she wanted to go to a concert. And so Wright called up Jason's management, and they ended up going to the Jason Isbell concert in St. Augustine, which I contemplated attending, but who wants to go to an amphitheater in St. Augustine in August?
Right.
Not me. But anyway, now Wright Thompson's little girl is also in love with Jason. So anyway,
Well, I mean, you
lots of
get texts from him. So I would assume that you are higher on the list than Wright if Wright has to call his people and doesn't just get a text from Jason Isbell.
directly from the artist. Yeah.
Just saying.
Um, sorry, I just got an email that the Crazy House is under
Yes.
contract, but we got the inspection
Praise
back and
be.
it's covered up in termites.
Of course
So
it is. Welcome to
we're
the South, baby.
listen, it's not one thing, it's another. But
It's
anyway,
five
sorry.
others. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yes, we're back. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everybody is following us on the gram so you could
There was
participate
lots.
virtually with Katie's amazing
Oh,
Thanksgiving weekend. It looked so good. So good.
yep. I did a
Um,
survey today and just gave them all the 5 stars.
good. Good. It looked really fun. When last we left, you all, it was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
I cooked 2 turkeys. We ran out of all turkey on, I guess, on Saturday.
Mhm.
And my sister and I had 1 turkey sandwich each. That's how much all these other people ate all turkey. My mom didn't even come to Thanksgiving. She was sick. So we
Bless
had
it.
2 turkeys for 4 people. How you doing?
Mm. So that
And
is all right. Hold on. It was 14-pound turkey. So 28 divided by 2, no, divided by 4, that's 7 pounds a person.
yeah,
Let's just let that sink in, people.
yep, yep. We like some turkey.
Yeah.
Um, lost my mic. Yeah, so that was good. And then Julie and Will and I left Nashville on Sunday and drove to Auburn, Alabama.
I saw that. I'm slightly disappointed that Will did not get the overalls. He was on the plains, so did he feel a connection to the plains at all?
He did. He
It's a
really liked
beautiful
it.
place.
Really liked it.
Yeah.
We were driving. We were in his car going somewhere, and so we were listening to his music because those are our rules.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did make him listen to some Outcast. I was trying to get him into some Outcast, and I can't remember who we were listening to, but whatever it was, the song had something about the guy was covered in scars and face tats. And Will said, "Well, what if that was me in 10 years, sis? What if I have scars and face tats?" And I said, "Well, I'd be sad that you had scars because that would mean you had a hard life." And he's like, "Oh my God, I wouldn't be invited to Thanksgiving if I had scars and face tats. I can't do that." I said, "You will always be invited to Thanksgiving. There's nothing you can ever do that will cause
Right.
you not to be invited to Thanksgiving." And then when we were in the Auburn bookstore and he saw those overalls, I said, "That will get
That.
you uninvited from Thanksgiving. Not allowed."
They're not cute.
They're
I don't
awful.
care what team you're for. Those overalls are not cute.
They're not where it's at, y'all.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, so we got there Sunday. The weather it was a gross drive. It was rainy and cold. But our good friend Wyatt Weldon, who is the oldest son of my friend Kelly Weldon, who's my
Mhm.
Braves partner.
Yes.
Wyatt's a freshman at Auburn. So Wyatt came and went to dinner with us. And y'all, that child, he wants to go into like marketing, and he's going to be so good at it. He can sell anything, but he can especially sell Auburn because he is so happy and he loves it so much.
It's a great place.
And we had the best time with him. And then we did the tour Monday morning, and those are always funny to watch my sister and my nephew and the dynamic that they have together on a tour. But it was good. And then I bolted out, and they went ahead and went on a tour of the business school as
Oh,
well.
good.
But I had to head out because I had to pick up one Weimaraner in Loxley, Alabama. So we have our new foster. Her name is
Loxley. Okay.
Loxley's. It's down near Mobile.
Okay, gotcha.
But Ronnie,
Which I love Ronnie for a girl. I know a Ronnie, and she's actually playing Clara this year in the Macon Nutcracker.
there you go. Well, so
Yep.
when Betsy got on a Braves naming kick this summer, and so of course she asked me for a bunch of names, and I sent her about 25.
Of course.
And then we were trying to figure out which ones could be good for a boy or a girl, and Ronnie was one of the ones that we picked, and it has turned out to be prophetic because little Ronnie is a little bit of both, y'all. She is a little bit of boy and a little bit of girl. The poor dog was born with a uterus and testicles, and she has a tiny little penis coming out of her vulva.
She is, the term you used earlier literally made me almost wet my pants.
It occurred to me today as we were walking. She's a hermaphrodog.
She's a hermaphrodog. She is very well fed, so somebody took care of her.
She's a little concrete block.
She is stout, like muscular, not fat, but she's like
she's shaped like a little concrete block, and she's as sweet as she can be. Typically when I get a dog, when I get a rescue in and they've been in boarding, they're pretty amped up, they're pretty hyped up, and so they have to be on some sort of anti-anxiety med for a little bit. This dog has not had any anxiety meds. She has slept in the crate like a champ the past 2 nights. I left her yesterday to go to the post office. She did fine. Like, she is just golden.
And she was a surrender and not a find, correct?
She was
Yeah.
well, she was surrendered to a shelter in Mississippi.
But not like found at the Waffle
Yeah.
House like the last
Yeah.
one or wherever.
Yeah. She was not like Jenny behind the Waffle House. And unlike Jenny, she's not terrified of everything. She's currently lying down on the balcony, and Jenny would only like stick her head out.
Yep.
So she's a really well-adjusted pup. I just am curious to see. I think she's probably going to have. There are going to be some people who are a little hesitant because of her anatomy, and I will admit it's strange. So I was talking to my sister about it, and she said, "So she has a lipstick because that's what we call."
And it's not
bulldog
underneath. It's
No, it's
all
kinda,
coming out of the same place. That's
right.
what is the most disturbing part.
Yeah. And I said, well, it's not, it's not a regular lipstick. It's like, you remember those little Avon sample lipsticks that our great grandmother used to get? That's what she has. Yeah.
It is. It is. And I think, the placement it's not, we don't judge her for her multiple. She is who she is, and we love her for it. But the placement,
It's just really weird to look at.
it's
For
just
sure.
not normal for a boy dog either.
Yeah,
it's not
we'll
where
see.
it should be.
They did. She was spayed / neutered. I guess it was both. She had her uterus and her testicles taken out, but they decided not to do anything in the vulva penis area because that's a real. It's not the easiest surgery to recover from, anything involving the vulva, as you can imagine. One of my previous fosters had a vulvoplasty. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
It was not just for cosmetic reasons. She was getting a lot of UTIs. And so far, Ronnie has not had that issue, but we'll see. I can't imagine that it will not be an issue. But anyway, so we'll see. She is a very, very sweet girl. And she's very easy. So, but then, so we got here. That was all on Monday. What's today? Today is Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah. So it's just like being shot out of a cannon, getting everything back in order around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we are. Catch us up with what's been going on with you, ma'am.
Oh, I have so much. So I got back Friday, and I wish I was still there. I offered my services. I said, don't you need to live in, I think I said this last week, don't you need to live in chaplain? I volunteer as tribute. I will do all the weddings. So I got back Friday, and Saturday I thought about going down on Sunday and doing this, but I knew traffic was going to be a nightmare.
And you
so
were
I
right.
got up early Saturday morning, and I drove down to Macon, and I put the cemetery wreaths out. So I will post pictures of that. I may wait because there's a bow issue I'm having, as one does with cemetery wreaths.
Yes.
So I'm going to get all new matching bows. And one of the stands is broken, so I got to go. Davis Wholesale Florist. If you live in Macon, Davis Wholesale, Stuart is just an angel of a human. And so I'm going to go see him, and he's going to make me all matching bows and sell me a new stand. But I cut weeds away from my, I think that's, so that's Morris's sister has rosemary on her.
Nice.
Yep. But it has gone wild because I'm not there to cut it. So I sweated a bunch and whacked back and did all the things with the rosemary.
Question.
Answer.
You cut back the rosemary. Did you then use it in your cooking?
When I don't have to transport it 3 hours, I do, but I also had a bunch of weeds interspersed with it this time, so I just tossed it. But normally I do. Absolutely.
Do you feel like
I'm eating the joiners? No, I don't.
A little bit. Okay.
No, I feel like I am closer to them. I don't feel like I'm eating them.
Okay.
But they're great.
Ashes to ashes.
Yeah. Yeah. What's really weird, and this is the second year in a row that I have been to my dad's parents, and on my grandmother's grave was like a little wreath with all these busted ornaments on it. So I threw it away because it was broken, but I thought, who in the world?
Somebody
Nobody
else.
in my family is doing that. So
Ooh,
it's a
mystery.
quandary.
It's a mystery,
I
y'all.
know, right? So anyway, those are up. I know y'all were waiting patiently for those to be put in
My
place.
friend Elizabeth was very invested. She was going back and listening to all the old episodes, and she was very invested in the cemetery action. So
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth, I know you'll be glad to hear the update.
It just got cut, and all of those the magnolia leaves. I put a new flag out on Morris's grave because the other one was looking a little janky, so I got that taken care of. But I will definitely post pictures so y'all can see what I have to do. It's
It
not,
looks real good.
I mean, it's not much. I was in Macon for a shorter amount of time than it took to drive down to Macon. But anyway, they're up.
There you go.
They're
Good.
up. They're up. I got back, at a reasonable hour. So I went ahead and put out what the little bit of Christmas I'm going to do this year. I know you can tell my stockings are in the bottom bag or box, so they may not make it out. But I've put out both of my nativity scenes, and I put out I set my table, which I will post a picture. And I remembered this time when I got the paper, I used these paper placemats to look at the company, and the company's name is Hester and Cook. And I have Easter, I have fall ones, and I have Christmas placemats that I use.
For those of you who may be joining us later, Katie sets her table for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
That, switches it out. We had
Yeah.
our Thanksgiving table set. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
We have switched it out and have put our Christmas
to the Merry Ho Ho. Indeed. Yes.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you have your own set of Christmas china?
So, and Hester and Cook, you can get at my favorite store, Creter's. The other thing you can get at Creter's is my favorite new china that I found, Jaluska, has a very pretty Christmas china. And I have 4 plates for each of the 4 settings, and that's it. But I don't have like big sets of Christmas china because I don't need it. So I got 4 plates. So
I had a single girlfriend whose best friend decided she needed to get, since she'd never been married, this friend decided on her own that she would start buying her spode Christmas china for like every present.
Yeah.
Mind you, my friend didn't really have any interest in having any.
Oh, well.
Christmas china. She had it anyway.
Well, I just got 4 little Jaluska plates that I love. They have a real pretty, like almost northeast snowy Christmas scene on them. They're real pretty. And then I put them on the green willow. So red and green. And then
Katie doesn't have blue willow. She has green willow.
Green willows.
That was Gogi, right?
No, it was her mother's.
Okay.
Lucy's
mother's.
Gogi's mother's. In the spring, I'll bust out Morris's mother's. Anyway, and Thelma. Anyway.
Morris, his sister had rosemary growing
on her grave.
I'm here.
Yep, family tree. I need to print one. So I've got the Hester and Cook placemats. I bought some pink to go with the pink on the placemats. I had them out at Thanksgiving. I left them out at Christmas. And they look really good, I think, with my old Santa mugs. You know those Santa mugs that everybody had growing up? I've got Gogi's and my own. Gogi's are old, like from the 50s. So those sit around. And I decided to leave who I'm now calling Prince William out, the quail. I think I'm going to get a bow for his neck.
Okay, I like it.
And I bought him a partner. So I got the other one was on sale, and so I bought that hadn't shown up yet.
Kate and William.
Yep, Kate and William. Yep,
Um,
we'll be together on the Christmas table.
now I'll ask you again what I asked you when we talked about this when you set your Thanksgiving
Nope,
table.
there will be no one eating there. It's just for me to look and say, "Oh, isn't that pretty?"
That's fine.
And
I
feel
like that you get joy as a person who doesn't have a table.
Yeah,
I like that,
yeah,
you get your joy where you get
I
it.
do.
But
I
you
do.
also like to cook so much
I do.
that I would challenge you once again.
Yeah,
You'll remember I've already challenged you
yeah.
once
I'm
a quarter.
I'm also a low key recluse.
Well, but I think it would be fun. I think you would like it more than you think you would if
Oh,
you
I'm
invite
sure
the
I
right people.
would. Yeah, I'm sure I would. The other thing that I do that I think you would especially appreciate, Miss I Go to Church, is the wise men are not with the manger scene.
Okay.
So they are across the room because they have not shown up yet.
It's not Christmas.
It's not Epiphany. So they will be moved
It's not
over
Epiphany.
the
I'm a
week of
Methodist. I don't know what all these things are.
the week of Epiphany. So Christmas, we're in, okay.
We're in
Little
Advent.
mini,
We're
little
not in
mini
Advent.
lesson. We're in Advent, which is the
Are we
time
there?
yeah. Well, Sunday.
Okay.
We're in Advent, and that leads up to Christmas. And then Christmas, the 12 days of Christmas,
Mm-hmm. I'm not
they're a
going to say.
thing. Yep. Start Christmas and go 12 days, and that's Epiphany.
I did know that about
Yep.
Epiphany.
And
But I
so
thought the wise men
Epiphany,
showed up on Christmas.
yep, nope, that's the shepherds. So Epiphany is when the wise men show up. And so because I don't want to do it just for a day, I'll move the wise men across the room for the week of Epiphany to celebrate Epiphany.
They slowly get closer during that week, or is it
You
just one
know,
week?
they could. That's a good idea to have them like, where's Waldo at around the
Uh-huh.
house. But normally I just stick them over there with Mary, Joseph, and all the people.
They just time travel.
Yep, they teleport.
Got it.
And so we did it at Mulberry. We do it at my little church. I've taught them to do it and they love it. The wise men are out in the narthex. They are not in the sanctuary. And then on
Now, is this
Epiphany,
something that
we'll
you
bring 'em
just
in.
came up with in your own brain?
No,
Or
no,
this dog has decided to get active?
love it.
No. Okay. So somebody else taught you this.
Yeah,
Okay.
other people do it. Yeah. And somebody did teach me. Yep. So my wise men are separate, and that's why, because they have not shown up yet. Technically the shepherds haven't either, but I'm not gonna like do all that. It's just Epiphany that we really celebrate. So that's my Christmas update. There is no tree, there are no stockings. There may be stockings if I get a wild hair and dig that box out, but I don't think so.
Well, I have a little tinsel tree that I will pull out of my storage at some point. And it has some fun ornaments, but that sort of in Moultrie, we had this lady, Miss Hendricks, who I think her husband would cut them and then she would paint them. So everybody in Moultrie has these wooden ornaments that are painted, and you could get like a lot of people when they were getting married, they would have custom made bridesmaids ornaments. So it'd have your hair color and your eye color, and then the dress would be whatever color dress you were wearing. Your graduation, if you're in the Serenaders, whatever musical we were doing that year. So we all have all these wooden ornaments if you're from Moultrie. And in fact, my friend Lee texted us maybe the night after Thanksgiving, and she had found one. I can't remember. I think maybe it was a duck. And on the back, it had been signed by our friend Allison, and Allison had given it to Lee's dad, Mr. Willis, who was our principal.
Love it.
It said, to Mr. Willis, love Allison Godwin. And then I think it had the year on it. Anyway, but that's
I love that.
Yeah, that's really
I love
neat.
small town life.
Yep. Anybody, if you know anybody from Moultrie, they got some Miss Hendricks ornaments, I guarantee you.
I love it. I love it. Well, I can't wait. I hope you'll post pictures. Are you putting it up?
Yeah, I will eventually.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like that this year. I'm like, I did it up last year, and it's just so messy. There's glitter everywhere. Like I've glitter. Look,
Well,
I'm not dealing with it this year.
I just had to get all the dog stuff situated
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. I don't think she seems chill enough where I don't think she'll bother it. So
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
The best news this week that I have heard happened during a game that I wish had never occurred. But at the beginning of the Auburn, Alabama game, which was the 3:30 CBS, Gary and what's his face game, Gary said, "This is the last time we will see the eagle fly because the SEC is no longer going to be on CBS." And I got so excited. I mean, then the game started and like my heart was scooped out of my chest and stomped on, but I was so excited. I was texting all these people. I was like, "Oh my gosh, we don't have to listen to them anymore." And the best thing that he said was SEC fans demand excellence. And my thought was, we just want you to talk about the teams that are on the field.
Right.
Like, if it's somebody else, we don't want you going on and on about how much you love Alabama.
Right. Right.
Or I want you to know who's on defense and who's on offense, which Vern never did. And Gary rarely does because he's so busy talking about Alabama.
Oh boy.
So that was the best news of Saturday ever. So we are done with the suffering. ESPN will be covering them now.
In better football news, you know who won their 3:00 game on Saturday? Mercer University.
I did see that.
Their first playoff game ever.
I'm so excited for them. I think that's great.
North Dakota this weekend to play, or maybe South Dakota. One of those
Dakotas. You know who will be there? I bet you money. You know who will be there? Bill Stembridge.
That's a long way to go.
He travels with that team. He would text me from like Washington. He's up there and somebody's near DC. He would go up there, Virginia, VMI. He went to VMI. I mean, he goes everywhere. Playoffs, he's there. I guarantee you. In the president's box, I'm sure, but he's there.
Oh. Yeah, the Mercer game was better than the Auburn, Alabama.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the bright spot is that I thought we were going to get our hind ends kicked all to hell.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot to nothing. I thought the way we played the week before, I thought we are not going to score. Like it's going to be horrible.
Right.
And it wasn't. And that was amazing.
Yeah.
To watch. Yeah. But when I tell you it's the wildest game I've ever seen in my life, I've seen a lot of football. A lot of football. And the pick six was not this wild. The miracle at Jordan Hare, when the Georgia player tipped the ball and we caught it, was not this wild. This was the wildest game I've ever seen in my life.
It was. It really was.
I have not seen an illegal forward pass all year. And I've watched a lot of football, and there were 3. I made a list. The illegal forward passes got me. It was that close. The last 6 seconds is when Alabama scored that last touchdown. We blew our coverage. Defense blew our coverage so bad. All the sacks. I mean, we haven't sacked anybody all year. There are running backs that carried the ball for hundreds of yards that have not touched the ball all year. Like, why have you been waiting?
Where have you been all my life?
Oh, the referees were horrid on both sides. I don't think they were most of the time I like to cry that they were
right
paid by Alabama. They were terrible. They were just terrible. And it just, there were so many things that could have gone either way. There was that face mask where they literally turned the guy's head sideways that they missed. I mean, it was just, I really thought I was going to be bald, have no fingernails left, and lose every bit of religion that my MDiv has given me in that game.
It was a lot. I mean, even all of that
said
just in the last 10 seconds.
I said words that I'm ashamed of. I don't normally, I mean, I'll cuss and, say the minor ones, but like, I don't say some of those words, and I screamed them. I've never. But again, the bright spot is I really did think it was going to be like 48-0. I never thought ever, after we paid New Mexico State $1.8 million to come play us and beat us, that we could do what we did. So there is hope. I mean, get ready, Georgia. I don't know who I want to win that game. I have yet to pick. I have some friends that there is no money or anything on the line. We just pick for fun. And, I'm winning all of them. So it doesn't matter if I pick Georgia or not, because I'm still winning, because I'm a winner. But I'm having a hard time deciding who I want to win that game. I mean, can the refs win? Can the cheerleaders? I mean, I'll take the actual dog Ugga as the mascot winner, but I don't want either one of them to win that game on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So it was an emotional roller coaster. Like, I spent the morning with the dead, and then I came home and almost died.
You did. Listen, we rolled up on Auburn's campus Sunday night, and
it had to be a depressing place.
It was a lot.
Did y'all eat somewhere fun, by the way? They have so many new restaurants, and
we just went to it was good, but we stayed at the Auburn Hotel.
Oh yeah, the new place. The new one?
And I don't know.
Okay.
But they have an Italian restaurant in the hotel, and we just ate there.
Yeah. So they've got so most of y'all think Auburn's a cow college, I'm sure, which it is. Got a great vet school, and they have things like equine and bovine and chicken houses. But they also have, first of all, they have most of your pilots for Delta come out of Auburn, so you're welcome.
I had no clue about that, but yes,
they have a good pilot school, and they have a really good hospitality degree.
Yeah, so I think you're talking about the hotel that was next door to us. Okay. Which the restaurant, the hotel, something, maybe the spa that's in there, maybe, are all staffed by students that are
it's part of their curriculum, I think. Yeah.
There's like the restaurant is like a chef's table, and it's all the culinary students. Julie said she looked at that. It was like $150 a plate.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I
haven't been in a hot minute for that. Yeah, but that's all new. Like, there's so much new stuff. When my brother was in school there, Auburn Supper Club was about the only place to eat. It was really, really good, but it was like the only place. And now there's all kinds of great stuff. So it's come a long way.
We'll see.
I'm sure they were awfully sad, though.
Yeah, they were. Woo. They were. Everybody was a little downtrodden, except for our tour guide, Ella Kate from Andalusia. And that child has never been downtrodden a day in her life.
Not a day. And that double name, I love that.
Listen, the advisor who is assigned to students from Tennessee, I can't remember what her middle name is now, but her first name is Lady. I was like, is that title or her name? Her name is Lady.
I feel like that should have been in the running for my name. Either Princess or Lady or Her Majesty.
And yeah, it was double name. We were ate up with some double names.
I love it. I love it. It's cold here, and I said today, that reminded me, I said today, I would throw every bit of feminism and girl power out the window to have somebody pump my gas in the cold. And all I got was the laughing emoji back, which I said, no, really, you don't understand. I'm a princess.
Well, I think if you drove to Moultrie, you could go to Mr. Bunker's, and I bet
Yeah.
they would pump your gas and give you a little gum.
Seems like I would have to fill up before I got there, though, which kind of defeats the purpose.
I'm just helping you out.
Look, if I
Helping a
get
girl.
assigned to Mulberry First United Methodist Church, then I'll go see him.
I was driving to Macon one time for a board meeting and drove to do that from here. Ways will send you different ways, but sometimes it sends you like through Dawson and Albany and like middle of nowhere.
Say it right.
Sowega, baby.
Albany.
No, people don't really say Albany.
Yes. Oh, the old school people do.
But anyway, somewhere along the way, there was a gigantic Saxby billboard still up. And then I stopped for gas, and the guy came out and pumped my gas. And I was like, have I time traveled to 1998? What is happening?
I know, right? I would have given anything for it today. So I think Lady would have been the perfect name for me, by the way. Lady Catherine of the Macon.
So it needs to be something like, the middle name needs to be like George or something. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe George Griffiths.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go.
I say.
I love that. I think I know. So today, friends, Mandy and I have put together some lists for you of local places that we like to shop and some online off the beaten path places that we like to shop. With Christmas around the corner, we thought it would be helpful if you were in some of these places or going to some of these places. Then we wanted to promote small business, local business, and then maybe some online stuff that you didn't know about. But I love to shop local. If there is an option to shop local, I will. I live in a land of big box. I'm right down the street from the Mall of Georgia. So it's harder for me to find them up here. But I found a couple places that I really love. Of course, Atlanta, but Atlanta's so expensive. I go down there, but not a whole lot to shop. Because I would have to dance on a table or two, or have the parts that your dog has and use them to be able to afford some of those.
Okay, just stop. That went off the rails.
Just saying. So I think we've curated some good lists. And so Mandy, I want you to tell us, you've got 2 locations. I want you to tell us about your local places to go shop.
Yeah, so I split mine up into seaside and non-seaside for 30A recommendations. The first one, my favorite, is a great little shop called Becasa. And it was started by a woman who grew up in Port St. Joe, Emily. And the original location's in Apalachicola. And then she opened up one on the east side of 30A too. But so Emily she just has great taste. And it's mostly clothes. And she does her own line. So she just, loud car going by, sorry. She just took a trip to India and was like showcasing the prints that she was picking out and like the whole 9 yards. A lot of linen, a lot of like, really sort of beachy sort of fabrics. But just, really and truly, she has impeccable taste. And then she also has some housewares and some jewelry and some fun things like that. But it's one of those places where you walk in and you're like, oh yeah, I want to live here. Like, it's just that kind of vibe. Yeah. It's just calm and great music. And anyway, so Becasa is my favorite one. And then the next 2 are actually little garden shops. Spoiler alert, I'm not a big shopper, but I do love a good garden shop. So one is Clay 38, which has been here forever. It's over in Seagrove. It was my friend Chelsea's favorite place on earth. and she would go and be like, "Oh, I just spent $500," because the girl loves some plants.
Yep.
But yeah, they just have great, plants, indoor, outdoor, and then cute little gifts as well. And then the other one is called the Salt Shed, and it's a newer place further east. It's sort of an inlet beach, and it's a little more. Clay 38 is a little more she. The Salt Shed's a little more sort of not quite as bougie, but also some great plants, house plants, and gifts, and fun little things like that. So those are sort of my non-seaside locations. Everything else that's really sort of local where I like to shop is in Seaside.
Okay.
The first is the Art of Simple. And all these first ones are in, like, if you're familiar with Seaside, they're in like the main horseshoe of Seaside. So the Art of Simple is just a little gift shop, and they just have really unique things that you don't see everywhere else. Like when you're really truly looking for like a gift for a girlfriend or a hostess gift or something like that, then that's sort of my go-to place. And then the next two are in the same building. The downstairs is Sundog Books, just great little independent bookstore. You can't beat it. And then the upstairs is Central Square Records, and they're just awesome. They do really fun record store events. Jason Isbell played there last year during the 38 Songwriters Festival.
Sure, he texted you about it.
He was out of town. I think that's before he had my number. Yeah, but they're just great, and they have fun. They actually carry my subversive cross stitch kits. Like, they carry some fun little gifts like that.
That's my new favorite thing.
I love it.
They're on my Instagram because you told me to, and I scroll through and see them, and I just howl laughing.
Aren't they funny?
They're great. They're great.
So, if you want to pick up a subversive cross stitch kit at the beach, you can do that at Central Square Records. And then if you're in the main horseshoe in Seaside, and you're like at the very middle, like the top of the U, sort of Great Southerns on your right. If you keep walking back, there are more shops back there that are called the Ruskin Place shops.
Okay.
And there's like 3 or 4. There's one that's like something about Paris. And so everything in there, it's a real Francophile sort of shop. There's one that's like a guy's name with a letter, something B, I can't remember. But just, there's 5 or 6 back there that are just a fun mix of like clothes and gifts and housewares. And they're everything in Seaside you're paying, I can't even remember what like 10% fee that you pay on anything you buy in Seaside, because that goes back to Seaside.
Right.
Plus their prices are always just more expensive. But if you get back on the Ruskin Place, it's not won't make your eyeballs fall out of your head quite as bad as the main row. So those are sort of my 30A local places that I really like.
I love that. Well, I picked 3 just mainly because I had just done Macon when I was down there. So, just to recap the things that I loved while I was there, Bear Books is a new bookstore in Macon that I loved very much, and I will be back to 7th Street Salvage. Their retail shop is great, and it has a market on the 2nd floor with local artists. Love that. And then Bohemian is my friend Scott, who I love. I got the girls some real cute pencil pouches for Christmas that are felt and have fun flowers and stitching on them. So those are in the episode back when I went to Macon. But what I didn't really talk about was Ingleside. Really anything on Ingleside. I love Creter's is my go-to. Like, you had the Art of Simple for your like gifts for hostesses and girlfriends for birthdays and stuff. Creter's has so much good stuff. They have china. That's where I got my Jalaska. And pretty like placemats, and they carry the Hester and Cook, and they have stationery. That's where I order my nice stationery from, and I'll pick up note cards randomly, if I see something pretty to write notes with. If you're a note writer, they have lots of Christmas ornaments right now. They have clothes, and they carry Spartina, which is the bag that I choose to carry, which is a good Southern local-ish. They've kind of gotten some recognition, but anyway, that's the bag I carry. They have jewelry, they have they just have all kinds of stuff, a wide variety. If you need anything, they're also real good about, and I don't know if you do this, Mandee, they have a list of things, like if someone, like, I don't, sometimes my mother will go in, but anyway, or my sister-in-law or something, like if they're like, hey, we don't know what to get Katie for Christmas, like they keep a list for me. They know what I like. They know what I have and what I still need.
Small town gesture. I love that.
It is. And even though I'm not married and haven't registered there, they still keep a list. And it's very kind, and they're wonderful people. So highly recommend. Same kind of thing with like If It's Paper, which is right up the street. So I will go up to If It's when I'm home and take a list of all the Christmas bags I need to wrap with. I will get there. They also have in the back, they have antiques in the back, and they sometimes, if you walk through, you can find good cookbooks like my grandmother's Table Talk. You can pick up a copy sometimes, or my other little family cookbook is there as well. So, hey girl, oh my gosh, I'm getting to look at the pup, and she's beautiful. So anything on Ingleside Avenue, I highly recommend.
Especially because then you can go to Ingleside Village Pizza.
Yes, then you can go see Tina at IVP and get some super sloppy breadsticks.
Oh my God, I'm still so mad I didn't get any when I was there.
They're so good. So the other thing on Ingleside too, there's a toy store. Have we talked about the toy store on here?
Don't remember.
So they curate actual toys, not crap that you find like on Amazon or whatever. So nice wooden, old, traditional, beautiful, educational toys, with like the nice old toys, and you can find them there on Ingleside. So anyway, if you're in Macon, if you happen to be driving through, it's not far off the interstate. You can get there very easily, have lunch, and walk around Ingleside Village. Highly recommend.
Cosign.
But because I talked about a lot of Macon, I also thought y'all would like to know about my other second little favorite Middle Georgia city, which is Perry. My brother and his family used to live there.
He doesn't need a plethora of places to shop in Middle Georgia.
The thing I love about Perry is that if you go, I know, right? If you go to Perry, like on a random Tuesday at 10 o'clock, you can park right in front of where you want to go. And you can walk up and down the street. It's one block. And there are multiple beautiful stores. Some Massey Gordon, if you're not following them online, I highly recommend. They have great stuff. There's Talton and Company and Ember and Ash. One is their clothing store, the other is their gift store. Ember and Ash is their gift store. There I'll put a full list, but all you got to do is just park and walk up and down the street, and any of the stores are beautiful and welcoming and wonderful. James Farmer has a store.
I was about to say, doesn't James Farmer have a retail store?
Yep. So James Farmer is in Perry. If you know him, he's a great decorator and graduate
of Auburn. Landscape architecture degree.
Yes, he has a beautiful place. He is a kidney donor.
Yes,
he gave his kidney to his sister. Yep. He's a wonderful human. I have met him one time, and really just was mesmerized. I have several of his books as well. But anyway, he's there. If you get a wild hair, go into Crossroads Eye Center next door to James's office and just tell Dr. Smith, who is my eye doctor and is married to one of my very best friends, Betsy. Betsy's one of the smartest people I know. She's an epidemiologist, and he definitely married up. You go tell Paul that Katie said to kick him in the shins. He's great. They love it when I come in the office. But they're there. The Swanson is a great place to eat. The Perfect Pear is a great place to eat. So you can find food while you're there. But Perry's just a cute little town, and it's all in one block, which is the best part. So you don't have to walk far.
Nice talking.
It reminds me very much of Redfern Village and St. Simon. So my St. Simon's friends on here that listen to us, it's like Redfern, but in one block of a downtown.
Lovely.
Atlanta, I have found two places that I love. One of them, they're hard to find Swoozies now, but Swoozies has a place in Peachtree Corners. It's not really local, but so many of them closed that it kind of is now. So Swoozies is a paper store. They have the Hester and Cook as well as like rifle paper and those kind of things. They have good gifts too. And then the bane of my existence that I want to go to every day if I could is a place called Lucy's Market, and they are online. It's where I got my quail. Prince William and Princess Catherine will be showing up soon. They have the most beautiful seasonal everything. They have right now they have just gorgeous Christmas stuff that I can't find anywhere else. They have a wine and cheese section in the back, which of course is fabulous. They have great gifts. It's just a beautiful place. And if you live anywhere near Lucy's Market, you're welcome. And I'm sorry. I have a friend, Caroline. We enable each other when we go in there. I'm like, you so need that. And she's like, only if you get that. And so it's also near one of my favorite places to eat lunch in Atlanta, Henry's. I pronounce it and she laughs at me. It's Henry's, but with an I, and it's French. But they have great, Henry's. Anyway, they have great tuna salad, egg salad, sandwiches, pastries. They have the best pinafores. They have the best thumbprint cookies. You're welcome. So those are my in-person picks.
I like them.
Yeah.
Good ones. Okay, moving on to our online shops.
Yes.
The first one I found through our friends at the Big Boo Cast.
Okay.
It's Duke Cannon. And
as she's saying this, I'm typing these in, friends, because you
can find everything in the show notes. Duke Cannon, it's basically soap. And I've gotten it for the past 2 years for young William. And it's, they just have funny they have some themed soap, like you can get a block of coal if you have somebody who deserves that in their stocking. You can get them some coal soap, which the charcoal is also good for, whatever it is that ails you on your face. But anyway,
right now they have Christmas Vacation.
Yeah. So it's just fun. And Will really likes the soap. Like he likes the scents and stuff. They have different scents. So if you're trying to buy for those impossible men,
yes,
I recommend Duke Cannon.
Done.
The second one I listed is the Old Try, and that is a shop that makes different prints, most of which are focused in cities and schools in the South. And so if you've got somebody who is a big fan of a certain college, then you can find some really unique prints associated therewith.
The Christmas, like they've got one right now that's the official Red Ryder Carbine Action 200 shot range model air rifle, which is from
A Christmas Story.
Best ever.
Yeah. But like
Oh,
I got my brother-in-law a Vanderbilt print a couple of years ago.
love that.
The
Okay, good.
aforementioned Wyatt Weldon, who is a freshman at Auburn, I got him an Auburn print for his graduation present last year. So just love the old try. The next one is another artist, Lisa Congdon, Congdon. And she just does really sort of bright prints, posters, and things that I love.
Love.
With different sayings. And so I've given those for graduation presents and stuff a lot
Oh,
too.
it's a good trucker
And
hat.
just
She's got a cute trucker hat with the quilt square on it.
I was just about to say, I think I just saw she had launched some apparel as well.
Yes, hats and bags.
Yeah. So but just fun prints that she
Yep.
does. She's a really cool artist. And then the
Yes.
last one probably everybody knows about that listens to us, but
Oh
just in
yeah.
case, The Bitter Southerner.
They have great
Um,
t-shirts.
you should subscribe and read everything they publish because it's all just killer.
Do they have
Um,
a app yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Um, but they have my favorite are like their t-shirts and their sweatshirts. They also have really fun tea towels. They have a couple of really cool prints. So those are sort of my favorite online vendors
I
for
love that.
gifts.
I had not saved Bitter Southerner as a favorite, so I appreciate that very much.
Sure
Great
thing.
choices. Subscribe to all.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple calamity wear. If you love blue willow or green willow or any of the willows, this is the most fun twist on that ever. So if you look at calamity wear from afar, it looks just like the blue and green willow or the blue willow. They don't have much other, they have red. But if you look up close, it's like monsters and dragons and death and destruction and aliens. Is so much fun. And so a short story, one of my friends at Candler, after this, I wasn't sure if she really was, met the guy that's now the minister at Mulberry, who is also a friend and a mentor. He's super fun. But the first thing she said to him when she met him was, "Oh my God, Katie's such a disaster," which I mean, it's true. Look, it's true. I am daily a disaster. And so for Christmas, I got her a calamity wear mug because it's all about disaster.
There
But
you go.
it's good quality too. It's not just funny. It's like this mug is huge. It's a great size if you're a coffee lover or a tea drinker. But calamity wear, go look it up. It's super fun. The cookie jars are really cute too. So if you need a gift for a really quirky friend,
Mm-hmm.
calamity wear, I highly recommend.
Nice.
The other one is called Noonday, and it is beautiful jewelry and scarves and um bracelet, like beadwork, made by women in countries where women are not typically employed. So they go into places like the Philippines and African countries and India, into these poor neighborhoods, and they empower women to start their own businesses. You will see that a lot of the jewelry is made from shell casings of bullets. They melt them down because often these women live in places of peril. And it's just a beautiful way to take things around them that they are good at and learn a trade and learn how to be in business for themselves and empower themselves. And y'all, it's really pretty stuff. I have bought
Mm-hmm.
myself several things. Yeah, so I bought a pair. I have a gorgeous pair of tusk or horn earrings that are carved, that are almost tortoiseshell looking pattern. have gotten it for friends. I have bought it for myself. I really like a lot of the textiles they have on there too, which I have not delved into, but I've got my eye on some earrings for my sister-in-law. I don't think she listens, so I think we're safe. And if she does, sorry, Rebecca, you may be getting some earrings. But they're so pretty. They're just really pretty things and they empower women, which I think is a great combination, especially
Awesome.
here at the holidays. So, Noonday, go on their website. It is beautiful stuff.
Okay.
Uncommon Goods is a lot to wade through sometimes, but if you need something a little bit different, or you've got one of those friends that just has everything that you don't know what to get them, I highly recommend Uncommon Goods. You can,
Yeah, they have stuff too that it's you don't see it anywhere else, but it's also thoughtful.
yeah,
It's not just like sometimes you're just buying something just
right,
so you can have something to wrap up.
yeah.
But they have stuff that you don't see anywhere else, but it's also thoughtful.
One of my favorite things to buy from there are these koozies. But they look like life jackets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So anybody that has like a lake place or loves the water, that's a great, just that's one place I go to get stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and then if you love a calendar, it's that time of year to get a new calendar if you're not on the school cycle. Day Designer is what I have found to be my favorite calendar. And I have tried several different ones over the years. But they have beautiful paper calendars. And so they have them for people that aren't mothers too. Like a lot of the ones I find for people our age or moms with all this stuff for their kids and their husbands. I'm like, I don't,
Yeah.
sorry, I mean, I don't need that. So, I think, or teachers, which is great if you're a teacher, but I am not, even though I'm in school. So, Day Designer, I think, has just a really nice basic paper calendar. They have fun, like they have magnetic bookmarks too, so you can mark your day. And it's my favorite go-to calendar. So I thought I would share that too. So, Day Designer.
Those are fun.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Um, well, this has been very enlightening. I'm definitely, especially that Duke Cannon. I forgot about that. So I'm glad you said that because I have a teenage boy in my life
They're
who's
aren't they fun to buy for?
a nephew. Well, okay. So he does not listen. He is too cool to listen. So his wish list included this kid is 85 in his spirit. It included books about Native Americans, like the plight of Native Americans and their stories,
Okay.
and caring for birds, like like macaws and parrots. And
Listen,
I can't remember the name of the one that came in the other day. Hold on, let me see. I
Will
was
usually
like,
can't give me anything that he wants. It's like, oh,
really?
whatever, sis.
Wilson is really good about it, and I appreciate it very much. One of them is called A Wing and a Prayer. Um, uh, the race to save the vanishing birds,
Right?
and the other one is
To be an
called.
ornithologist.
He is. If he's not a bird vet, he will. He'll do something like that. And then this other one is called The Parrot Who Owns Me: The Story of a Relationship
Okay.
with your bird, like how to be a good pet owner. He's
Like it.
just like, I love this kid so much.
Like it.
Yeah, but he's also going to start driving and this
I not
coming
hang on.
year. I know. So he's of that age. So I think this will be a nice little addition because I got his sister's those pencil pouches and I put
Yeah.
some pretty like pens and highlighters in there because I love a good whatever office supply. And so this will be a good little one more thing for his gift. So there we go. And
Highly
Roy
recommend.
Griffiths might get some too.
Like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Okay, so next week, well, okay, first of all, if I can take a moment on December 1st on my other podcast, and I posted this, December 1st is going to start like a 10-minute at most daily Advent devotion. And it's a little scripture, it's a hymn, and it's my thoughts, which, I mean, who can't get enough of my thoughts? But it's a great little thing. And then at the end will be just a little centering moment, something that you can do to prepare your heart for Christmas in a different way other than buying things for people. And, it's just a great little thing. So I've enjoyed writing them. If you want to subscribe to my other podcast, you will get the little update every day.
I can't
Shout
wait.
out to JT. Look at that girl. She's paying very close attention. JT is tolerating my crazy and putting something online. I'm sending him to him in batches, so he doesn't have to do tons of work extra, but he's just great. And so I appreciate you, JT. Not that you listen either, but shout out to JT. If you ever want to do anything like this, let us know and we will give you JT's name and number. He's amazing. We are getting, by the way, more views than a lot of the churches that he works with. So
there you go.
There we go. So if you would like to do that with me over Advent, subscribe to Grits and the Gospel and it will show up. It's just a quick little 10-minute devotion. On Sundays, though, you will get to hear my sermons if you dare. So there's that. And I did preach about Mandee and her, the scripture was caring for the least of these. And the sermon was about my friends that foster children and my friend that fosters dogs. And so she made the sermon this week. So
listen,
there we
maybe
go.
a first. It's the first I know about.
I mean, usually if I'm talked about, it is not nice. And
Right?
so I feel like it's a win.
Yeah. Feels like a first for sure.
Yeah. And I think next week, friends, we're going to do gifts, like edible gifts, and our recipes for those things. I'm very excited about it.
Not edibles.
Not edibles.
But
let's make that very clear. Not edibles. I don't do that. But things that you can gift that are food.
There you go.
There we go. So that'll be fun. And then I think we discussed maybe we can do, because I watch a Christmas movie every day during Christmas season in December. I just have something on the background most of the time, but I think we should get into the discussion of, is Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, are those Christmas movies? Well, so we'll have to get into it and bring your favorites. I have a list on my phone, so we'll do a Christmas movie episode as well. Look, there's icons and check marks and lists. They're things. So there we go. So everyone have a wonderful week. Mandee, it's so good to see you and to meet your new little girl back in the Florida.
Indeed. Hope everybody has a good week. I know it's crazy times getting back into the routine.
We have not said hello to our friend.
Listen, Birchy Birch.
It is also the last week of classes for me, which means all my papers and finals are next week. So prayers appreciated that I can get through that. And then I'll be halfway done with seminary. So I
was trying to see, I know Birch texted me about last week's episode, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, and I heard all y'all loved my tip about sweet potatoes.
So many people are on the sweet potato whipping train. I can't even tell you.
When I see Kathy next, I'll have to
the butterscotch bundt cake.
So easy.
Shared that recipe with a friend.
Just don't tell anybody how easy it is. Make people think we slave away.
We are just far and wide.
Yep, I love it. Yeah. So Birch, hello Birch. I feel like I almost did St. Simon's, but then I thought they all live there. They know. So I would just be telling them places. They could tell us places. So,
that's right.
And that's a great thing. So here's the thing, tag your favorite local store if they have an Instagram account or whatever. tag it in the post when we post about this episode coming up. So we can follow them. And I follow stores in Valdosta and all over the place because they have great ideas and great things that I can, do myself or find here. So tag away. I would
Absolutely.
love to learn about your local stores too and your favorite places online to shop.
Same.
All right, friend. Well, we will see you next week. And Brooke, turn some tables over, ma'am. Have
We're
fun.
banging on a table right now.
Bang it on. Bang, bang.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.